I stole Pokemon cards from people.
From people?
Yeah.
I never
There's,
stole
like,
from
moments-
people. Like One Piece pirates out there just trying to take all your shit.
You always gotta wait. What are the One Piece pirates?
But I mean, I don't think Asian parents be expressing that type of, or just emotions in general, really.
The priest at the end of mass was literally like, "We have a doctor in this church. Please stand up." And my sister had to stand up, and like everyone knew that she got into medical school. You know how cringy that is? Wait, what's the craziest time? And I'll tell you why. What's the craziest time that you got spanked and you're literally like, "That is not spankable." Like, all of a sudden I see my eye staring at like my parents. I'm like, "Oh shit, they saw me and my cousin talking. We're fucked." Hi everybody. You gonna wave again?
Oh shit! Hi.
Welcome to Flow and Tell, and today we're here with Ty. What's up?
What up?
What's up? Welcome to another episode of Flow and Tell. Thank you so much for watching. Today we're gonna be open up a little bit. Most of our podcasts have a lot of
Is it recording?
yeah.
Okay.
Most of our podcasts have a lot of like giggles and comedy to it, but today is a day where we're going to be wholesome. And please
My
forgive
specialty.
my friend Ty because he's not the most wholesome person
No,
in the room.
wholesomeness is my specialty.
So he thinks. But we're going to be talking about very wholesome things because it's Wholesome Wednesday. Okay? And the first thing that we are going to talk about is our upbringings, Ty. Ooh, time to hit. Did you not turn off your fucking phone?
Mine's off. That was yours, bro.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry.
You guys see this? She fucks up and then blames me.
Apologies on my behalf. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, we're bringing up traumas today. Oh, we love traumas, but as you know, we're Asian, and we have a lot of, I don't know, it's just most of the time I talk to you guys about funny things and anything topic wise, but today I kind of want to dive deep into getting to know each other a little bit more. So first of all, Ty, why am I so nervous to open up a little bit? I get nervous to open up. I don't like opening it up. But it's easy with Ty because we normally have these types of talks. It's just a little bit more scarier, like filming, that's all.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard being vulnerable.
Well, that's all right. We'll get through this. So there are some things I did write down that I always thought were like rules growing up in an Asian like strict household. I don't know about your parents, but my parents are immigrants.
Mine are, yeah.
Oh, they are? Okay. Wait, so what year were you born?
90.
90? Okay, yeah, me too. My dad he ran away from the Vietnam War. Did your dad do that too?
I'm not 100% sure. I believe he did as well.
He doesn't tell you like the stories. My dad would like go crazy on those stories.
No, he hasn't told me stories. Not really. No, he just told me stories about like when he was running away and how like rough it was to like get on a tiny ass boat.
Yeah, my dad too.
And fucking get over here. And then he hates pancakes.
What the?
Because apparently like when they were like, like I guess when they're refugees, all they fed them were pancakes.
Oh really?
Yeah. And
I
so
wonder if that was my dad too.
he just ate pancakes all the time. So now he just never wants to eat pancakes ever again.
Wait, that's crazy.
Never.
So my dad would tell me, because my dad also ran away from the Vietnam War, and he worked he would tell us all these crazy stories of that all they would eat was bread and condensed milk. So it was like to just make the food taste better. And feel like they're not like eating
just straight bread.
Yeah, they would add condensed milk to everything. So avocado, bread. So like sometimes to this day, my dad calls
they
it
had
a snack.
avocados?
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems
Wait,
like
is
they're
that
living
weird?
it up. You look at avocados now?
Well, they're expensive now.
Yeah,
Maybe not back then.
Go to a cafe, get some avocado toast. What is that? $15?
Yo, it's so expensive now. I don't even like avocado and some bread is crazy. Hey,
No.
add a little cheese, that's like $1
See,
extra.
your parents didn't know what they had.
That's true. But my mom is from Taiwan, so she actually didn't run away. I think she just moved to Alaska to follow her sister. My dad, he ran away from the Vietnam War with his 2 or 3 other brothers. And some of the craziest things would happen was just like, so pirates were from Thailand. They would call them pirates. And my dad would visibly see like pirates try to jump on, take their money, and then sometimes like the moms would hide their kids on the side of the boats, and my dad had to like visibly see somebody getting like arred, you know?
I think my dad did talk about that too. It's like that's one of the risks that you take traversing the seas to escape. It's like you can run into like real ass pirates,
Yeah.
like One Piece pirates out there, just trying to take all your shit.
You always gotta wait. What are the One Piece pirates like? They're just like regular pirates, right? Taking your money.
Yeah, I mean, take your money, they'll kill you too.
That's crazy, dude. Like to imagine. So that's why my dad kind of like is so strict with us, because he's always like, "Oh, school is the easiest thing that you're gonna ever have to go through." Because sometimes I'm out here complaining like, school's so hard, life is hard, exams are difficult. My dad would get so mad at us, and because in his mind he came from like the rough areas. Like,
Okay.
he landed in Indonesia, and then he was homeless, and then him and his brother had to like work really hard, pick rice just to make a penny, you know?
Right.
And so then like when me and my sister are like complaining about like MCAT or school, he's literally just like, we're giving you this life. Why are you not taking advantage of it like we could have? So like when you think back at your like the way you grew up versus your family, right? Do you feel like you are spoiled?
I definitely feel like we're more fortunate for sure, but I think it's obviously they had it really rough, right? Having to escape here, like the physical and emotional trauma that they experienced to come here and give us the life that we have now.
Yeah.
But I think it's also difficult to say like what you're doing or what we did going to school isn't hard either. It's just hard in a different way, I think. Because so like, did your dad go to school when he got here?
Mm-hmm. He didn't know English.
Yeah, and he didn't know English.
Yeah.
Right. And he still did it.
Yeah.
That's what my dad says all the time.
Yeah.
He's
Me
like,
too.
He's like, I came here, I went to school, I didn't even know English.
Yep.
And it's like, so what are you doing?
Exactly.
And I'm like, damn, I must be dumb.
Right?
I must be dumb. I don't know. It feels like it's just, I mean, maybe we are spoiled. Maybe it's just that we don't have that, the grit that they had to have. But at the same time, they only had that grit because it was like
Life or death.
life or death.
Exactly.
Whereas like we're not under that knife.
But I would agree. I would say that like in life or death situations, we would probably fight just as hard.
Yeah.
I do think that like I understand now being older why my parents were so strict and why they set rules, why it always felt like we're never enough. I think just because in their mind they could have probably done, because they worked so hard and they're immigrants, that they probably could have done our life. Like worked a lot
Times
harder.
10.
Yes, exactly. And so before I was just like feeling, but it's just like that feeling of being trapped. I remember thinking back in my life, just feeling very trapped and not being able to figure out who I am. Because to this day, I still feel like my happiness stems from my parents being proud of me. And I think like not really sure how to get out of it, because in every decision I've made in life, I would always be like, this isn't going to make my parents proud. I know this is what I want, but I'm always like, how can I find like little hints of things I can do financially to just make them proud? And it was always finances.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, like they want what's best for you, of course. I think, but when it gets to a point where all of your like goals and aspirations hinge on making them happy, that's when it becomes, toxic for yourself, right?
Yeah.
Because it should just make you happy, really. And whatever success looks like to you should make you happy.
Have your parents ever said they were proud of you?
The fact I have to think really hard probably says a lot. But I mean, I don't think Asian parents be expressing that type of, or just emotions in general, really.
Do they say I love you?
My dad, growing up, he didn't. But I think at one point, or just some random point, he did start trying to say it more.
Really?
Yeah, he did. But it was just weird to me hearing it because up to that point, I was like, we never say that. We
Yeah,
never say I
yeah.
love you. But
Wouldn't you like later in life regret that you didn't get to say I love you to your parents more often?
I might. I'm not sure if I will because I know at least I know that they know that I love them. And I know that they love me. But I'm not sure how important it is for me to express that verbally. Maybe I should though. Right? Because I know you do.
Oh yeah,
A
my
lot.
dad. When I say I love you to my dad, he's like, "Me too." When I say I love you to my mom, she's like, "I love you."
Me
Mwah,
too.
mwah, 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 mwah. That's how my mom is.
That's cute.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I mean, like that's what I don't know. It's like I don't know if I told you, but it took me a year to tell my parents that I quit my healthcare career before telling them that I was a streamer.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually waited a year. My hope was that it wouldn't take that long, but they thought that I was working every single time. Like I would make up like a new schedule, like, oh, I work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And it was really tough to lie to my parents saying that I was working still for an entire year. That's a whole year of lying. And like, because I'm older, I do feel bad about lying to them. But then like, I felt like it was necessary because if I was to go back and do it again, would I still lie to my parents? Yeah, just because they wouldn't understand unless they physically saw income. And like as a streamer, they're like, what's a streamer? Like that doesn't make any sense. You're playing video games, making money. And so like if the only way I knew that it was right for me to tell them I was a streamer was when I was making money that month and I could show them like, look, this is how much I'm making. Look at last month. Then after that, they're like, oh my God, because in healthcare, I was only making at that time, it was like compared to as a streamer, I was making 2,100 and then, which is like barely enough to survive when you're living on your own. And so, especially with like inflation and all that stuff. And so then when I was showing them how much more I was making, like 5 times more, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that definitely makes sense. It's like you want to be at a position where you can show them the fruits of your labor so that they can support it more. Whereas like if you had gone it from the jump, then it's like they don't quite understand what that's about because in their minds, they only see one route to success, right?
Which is what? The doctor route?
Yeah. Well, the route of a high income regular job.
And respect for my parents, at least.
Oh, to garner that respect.
Yeah.
I see.
And that's the thing is just like sometimes even like if you make a lot of money, they would just be like, that's it. Because they're like, oh, because so that's what my mom would say every month. She'd be like, how much did you save? And I'd be like, this much. She's like, that's it. And I'm like, wait, that's a lot. Because I would have made way less being in healthcare as a respiratory therapist, if you guys didn't know. And so that was tough too, because then I also felt like, okay, like I need to work harder. I need to work more. I'm not really sure. I think my mom just didn't understand, or I don't know. But I would try to tell her, like, Mom, when you say that's it, like it just, I don't know how much more I can do. Because I don't know if I tell her like, oh, I made this much. She'll be like, oh, good job. Next month, like that's it, because it was lower. So let's say like I made like 20K or whatever, right? She'll be like, great job. And then let's say the next month I made 10K. She'll be like, that's it. And I'm like, wait, that's a lot still.
It's still a lot, yeah. I mean, I guess she just wants you to know, like, do better all the time, like continuously trend up. But maybe she doesn't quite understand that trending up doesn't mean every day or every month you're achieving more. Sometimes you achieve a little less the next day, but the overall progression is upwards.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I think that's what I was trying to explain to my mom. And like, she does understand. And being older, I think I understand a lot more about like what happens and why they think a certain way.
Right.
It's just that I feel like sometimes, like you probably, like when you hang out with me, I'm very high energy sometimes, right? And like you'll see have like my cutesy voice and stuff. But if you were to see me hang out with my parents, I'm much more calm. You'll almost think like I'm kind of a different person. I'm very quiet. I'm really calm. My sister is actually the one that's like the louder one.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think it's just because I don't feel comfortable yet completely being myself. I feel like I have to I don't know. I could be wrong, and maybe I have overthought this, and maybe I could be myself. But I always feel like I need to be proper.
It just sounds like how you were taught growing up, right? Like you have to be palatable, I think is what my dad, I feel like, thought for us growing up. Like if we did anything out of the quote norm, he was afraid that we would be ostracized or like bullied, right? And so whenever he'd see things that we would wear or music that we would even listen to, then he would tell us not to because it's not proper or it doesn't fit the mold of
What mold was he trying to do? Because I
just
don't
of society,
Oh,
right? Just of like
Asian society.
not even Asian side. I think honestly, more he was fitting the mold of like society here in Texas, so predominantly white, right?
Okay.
So like he didn't want us to be different. He wanted to try to fit in, but I don't know if that's healthy really, because you kind of repress yourself.
Well, I think my parents were more like they wanted us to fit into the mold of the Asians. Like, I don't know if you've ever been compared to by your cousins.
Oh, all the time.
Okay. It was like, oh, that cousin went to school in California. Why are you going to school here?
Actually, not as much. Because I hear stories about that happening with my other Asian friends, and they have it to such a higher degree. Like mine, I think is just barely any. Because all my cousins, they're probably way smarter than me. Like I'm pretty sure they're all way smarter than me. They're all like really creative, super smart, and they're just doing stuff, right? Whereas like I'm just chilling really. And but my aunts, my relatives, my mom, my dad, they don't really say, "Oh, look what they're doing. You could be doing that," or something.
Oh, okay. Growing up, it was always like your cousin got valedictorian, and then like it would just be like Thanksgiving dinners. Our whole family's there. We're having piano competitions where one of my uncles straight up bought a trophy, 3 trophies. So whoever we would like prepare because we knew Thanksgiving was coming and we knew all of our uncles were coming. They would be out here. All cousins would be preparing a music sheet, like a whole music song.
Okay, but
to compete with each other.
Well, wait, were you forced into this competition or was it optional?
No, it was forced. It was like, okay, everyone, gather around. It's time for a piano.
That's just stressful.
It's so stressful.
That's just stressful.
It would actually have like our names in the trophy. And I think to this day, I probably still have that trophy. And then we would end up, then like dinners would suck. We would like literally have so much anxiety about dinners because that's where they would all talk about like what like AP classes they took or what college they applied to, and then what college they got into, what high honors, like if they got into high honors and stuff like that. So my sister, I think, had more pressure in that area than I did. My sister, she had it pretty rough where like every single one of us had to at least be a doctor or a priest. Because if you mix Asian and Catholic, oh, that's a horrible combo. I'll tell you, Ty.
Okay.
So, so my sister had to, or not my sister, but all of us, and every single one of us that really tried to get into medical school. So we all had biology degrees. One person ended up dropping out doing business. One person ended up dropping out and doing something else. And a couple people in my family have gone through depression and wanted, like, I think every single one of us have tried hurting ourselves at least once. But I think it's just like that pressure of like trying to make your parents proud, also competing with your cousins. And then I was always the black sheep in the family that I felt like. Okay. And my sister, she actually ended up becoming a doctor. She ended up enjoying it. And then my other cousin, he actually, I think I told you, he actually became a priest just to have my dad quit smoking.
Which was not long lived, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. But my dad did quit in the end. And so, it's just like all that. I don't know if you ever had to deal with that stuff, but even my cousin got like MCAT books for Christmas, anatomy books. One of my cousins memorized the entire periodic table. It's crazy.
That's correct. Like
8th grade.
Like all that pressure put on you, I feel like, did that put a strain on your relationship with your cousins as well, being that your parents are pitting, y'all against each other?
Yeah.
Right? So it's always like, oh, she did so well, or she beat me this time. Like, what are my parents going to say to me today? And stuff like that.
No, yeah. We're not all close.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And we almost came to a point where we would make excuses for ourselves as to why we didn't become a doctor. Like, and then the parents would end up making excuses. So like my uncles would literally be like, oh yeah, being a doctor is just not a good like career just because their kid didn't make it and stuff like that. And then they end up trash talking almost like why that's not a good idea and stuff like that.
Even though not too long ago
They're all on it.
they're all about it.
Yeah.
See, that's the crazy thing. I think like, I don't know if it's mostly them wanting the prestige of their children being successful, or the balance between that and whether or not they actually want you to be successful for yourself because they think that's what's going to make you the happiest, right? I think it's a mixture of both, right? But sometimes it feels like it's more for the prestige, more for parents to say, oh, my kid accomplished this, bragging rights, right?
100%. I really do feel that way, Ty.
Damn.
Thankfully,
you
my
went through a
parents,
lot.
they're not the type to brag. But when my sister did get into medical school, it was like there was one moment, very proud of her, by the way, but there was one moment that was very embarrassing. We were in church and the priest, because my dad's proud, so my dad's like, my sister got into med school. The priest at the end of mass was literally like, we have a doctor in this church. Please stand up. And my sister had to stand up. And like everyone knew that she got into medical school. You know how cringy that is?
That's pretty cringe. I'd be dying.
Dude.
I'd be like, don't call me out.
Dude, that's what she said. And it was like, but everyone's proud. And I guess like, like it was a little bit about status because sometimes my uncle will be like, we have a doctor and a priest in the family, it's just, I don't fault them for any of this because I understand like where it's coming from. And in their mind, they do think that's their way of giving us a good life.
Yeah,
In their mind,
I think that's definitely a part of it for sure. It just seems like in some families, it's a very small part in comparison to the bragging, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I just wish they would just be happy with whatever path we chose.
Oh, you wish.
I wish.
That was my hope
case.
on the inside for a very long time.
Because I feel like if you let your kid, I mean, I'm not a parent, right? So I don't know. Like, I don't know what it was like to be in their shoes raising me. But it's just like, I feel that if you just let your kid, pursue their passions, and even if it fails, they'll pick up another passion. But the point is like, they just keep going forward rather than being pushed to go forward. They're walking forward on their own, right?
So this is what I was thinking based off what you're saying is that if we were to have kids, it's not us two.
Yeah, definitely
like,
not.
Individually to have our own like set of kids with our partner. I think because I don't know a different path of like what the right way of teaching is because I just don't think there's a right way to teach. Sometimes you just kind of have to hope for the best. Do you think that or no?
I think there's more than one right way. I feel like depending on how your kid is or what relationship you have with your kid, right?
Yeah.
I think there's not one right answer. I think there are probably multiple correct answers on how to raise a kid. I think it's just the mutual or the common factor among successful relationships is going to be trust, like any relationship. Trust between you and your kid and vice versa, right?
There is, but I think like it's tough to trust because I feel like I lied a lot growing
Well, because
up.
you were forced to.
But who knows? I could have lying in my blood.
No, that's not. We weren't born out the womb to lie. Like lying is a learned behavior. It's not something that.
You sure about that?
Yes. I mean, as far as I know, it is a learned behavior.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm a little scared because, okay, what would you do differently if you had kids?
I mean, I would definitely try my best to forge trust between us. And even if like punishments were to occur or like,
Spanking and stuff? You would spank them?
I probably wouldn't engage in physical punishment. I don't think personally, I don't think that is a smart way to do it
I agree. Yeah.
because you kind of like I feel like if you engage in physical punishment, it's mostly because you have no idea what to do. And that's like your last resort. Whereas I would think that I would spend time to figure out a way to like teach them these lessons without hurting them in that way.
I think the spanking was more so like, this is bad, so spank, as like a in your head, like, okay, if you do this again, you're gonna get spanked.
Yeah,
Dude, I
no,
got spanked for
sure.
everything back then.
I know. Me too, for sure.
Wait, what's the craziest time? And I'll tell you mine. What's the craziest time that you got spanked and you're literally like, that is not spankable? Like,
What's the craziest time that I got spanked for
when you
something?
didn't deserve it.
When I didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
Honestly, for some reason, right now, what comes to mind is a situation where I definitely deserved it. But when a situation where I didn't deserve it, I don't know.
No way. It doesn't
Yeah,
stand
I
out to you.
don't know.
I literally have one that's like stands out to me. I was like, why the heck did I just get spanked?
I feel like my parents are pretty. I mean, like I said, I don't believe in physical punishment, but if I were to look back on the situations where I was punished in that way, it seems pretty fair.
Because you a bad boy, that's why.
No, not because I was a bad boy, but actually,
You a bad time.
I did get spanked. I didn't get spanked a lot. I got spanked only early on, and then after that, I got spanked very little.
Yo, I got spanked all the way to college.
Bro, what? You got spanked in high school?
And college.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, dude, it's tough.
I think I got spanked up until middle school.
That is normal, I think. You should
Up
not be
until
getting
middle
spanked
school.
out of middle school. If you're in high school and you're getting spanked.
No, like before middle school. Like I only got spanked when I was in elementary
So
school.
in elementary.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. Bro,
But I was a good kid. I'm a good kid.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then after that, you just got yelled at and grounded or what?
They would yell at me, yeah.
Okay. I got spanked when I was younger. I always got spanked just for talking in church. I was an altar server.
Mm-hmm.
You know what that is, right?
No.
So altar server is like, have you ever been to church before?
I went to church for like a good month, I think.
Do you remember seeing like these like kids or teenagers
Yeah,
that
I
are
see
helping the
kids.
priest?
Okay, yeah.
Up there.
I've seen those.
That was me.
Oh.
So I was doing that before, and I was doing it with my cousin. And me and him were bored because like it was a Vietnamese church that didn't understand Vietnamese that well when I was younger. So what were we gonna do? Like we're out here just talking to each other, but we're like, sometimes we even say a sentence. And all of a sudden I see my eye staring at like my parents. I'm like, oh shit, they saw me and my cousin talking. We're fucked. And then like, but it was like I didn't talk at that time. It was my cousin that talked. So my cousin got in trouble. But my cousin didn't want to get spanked. He was like, "Quỳ xuống," you know, which is in Vietnamese is like kneel down.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't listen. And so since at that time me and my cousin were best friends, he would be like, "Hey, you need to also kneel down so that my cousin can listen." So I was like, fine, like just get this over with. Like I doubt I'm gonna get spanked. So I kneel down too. And then my cousin kneels down to follow me. I get spanked. I did nothing. And then he gets spanked with a belt.
You just took a punishment.
For nothing. I was so pissed. I told my mom. My mom got mad because she's like, because I believe that like, dude, my parents, they can punish me. But my uncles, my aunts, grandparents, you're not allowed to punish me.
You're not allowed to.
Yeah. Like I'm not your kid.
Right.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
Never forgot.
Dude, that's actually wild.
Right?
It's just because yeah, so like that was my punishment a lot, I think, after elementary school, like whistle. That's mostly
It's
what I
the
did.
scariest word ever.
Yeah. But I didn't get beat while I was doing
You know what else is scary? Mort.
oh shit. Yeah, when they start counting your
In
beatings.
Vietnamese, mort.
Hi. Bye.
I'm like, oh shit, I don't know what's gonna happen at 3.
They're the trauma.
If you didn't know, that was Vietnamese counting right there.
Yes.
Yeah, those were
Yes.
two traumatic things to hear growing up. Was Gui Sung, kneel down, and Mot was number one.
Yeah. Wait, so growing up, my primary beating wasn't really even like a beating. I mean, sometimes if depending on how much I acted up, but most of the time it was just like I had to stick out my hand.
No freaking way.
I had to stick out my hand, and they would hit my hand
Your parents are so
with like
nice.
with
to
like
be honest.
chopsticks or something.
Chopsticks. That's
With
so-
chopsticks. No, to be fair, I have been beaten with a belt, a hanger.
Okay.
A bat. Like my dad. I don't know if I should say this, but he grew bamboo sticks.
My dad
In the
too.
backyard. I mean, you guys can put two and two together there, but he grew bamboo sticks, and then they would beat me with like my own toys. Like, I don't know if you guys had this, but I had, as a boy, I had those plastic swords, right? Like
Okay.
ninja swords.
Okay. Yeah.
And that
still have
shit
those.
hurt bad because after they beat you they hit you 2 or 3 times with it, the sides of the plastic sword split open.
Shut up.
So then it's like thin, like, and they just
They hit
keep
that
hitting
hard?
you. And it just
What
like,
did you do, Ty?
And it just like,
What'd you do?
it
Do you
just, like,
remember?
I don't even fucking remember. I just remember the sword breaking, like splitting at the seam in half.
Oh
the
my
mold,
God.
And then they keep hitting, and then I could feel like the two edges just.
That's so painful. I could feel it.
Yeah, and I was like, damn, this hurts. And then that affected how I chose toys for the rest of
Yo,
my
that's hella funny.
childhood.
Styrofoam toys.
Yeah. The retailer's like, oh, what toy do you want? I would see the cool ass plastic sword. I'd be like, not that one. Not that one. Give me a truck or something. All right.
Yo, getting hit by a truck, I'm sure that would
No,
hurt
it's like
too.
a toy truck. They can't beat me with a toy truck.
Oh my God, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
my
never.
parents spanked me with anything that they could find in the moment.
Yeah.
When they start looking like this for something to
Fly
to spank-
swatter.
Oh yeah.
Fly
Wait,
swatter.
you got hit with a fly swatter, bro?
Yeah.
Was it on? Wait, have you?
No. Not the electric
Oh,
one. The
the-
Vietnamese like
the Vietnamese
long
one?
that has a little panel thing at the
Like
top.
it looks like
Yeah.
a.
And then sometimes it's not. They don't hit me with the flappy end. They hit me with the handle end.
Dude, you know what a trick was that someone told me? I wish I knew when I was younger, when I was getting spanked. If you flex your butt cheek, it actually will hurt less. So anyone out here getting spanked still, just flex your butt cheek. You flex it really tight, and
Even
actually
as an
wouldn't
adult.
hurt. Yeah, no, I was in college getting spanked still, bro. for
In
getting a D.
college.
Yeah,
Yikes.
early college. It was probably like ninth grade, freshman year in college.
But
And then
still,
they
you were
stopped,
in
so-
college.
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
got spanked in high school.
yeah. I also got spanked in high school.
Dude, that's wild.
It was always for bad grades, boys. I was like boy crazy back then.
Oh, so you were a bad kid.
Well, I mean, like, listen.
Oh my god, you have to be like, no.
Listen, the school sucked. Okay, I never understood why I had to do good in school, and then like I didn't understand. Like, I don't know. It's just like so sad at home. I needed someone on my side, so I had like a bunch of boys in my life, and boys were fun. They gave me attention. They complimented me, made me happy, and I wasn't happy at home. So I became very codependent, and I would sneak around,
Makes sense.
and I was really good at sneaking. By the
See,
way,
learned behaviors.
I was very good, dude.
No, me too.
I had like I bought like black hair extensions, and I put pillows as my body, and I put
Oh,
the black
bruh.
hair extensions as like my hair.
Bruh.
You know, my dad still caught me. He like opens it, and then like you know what was fucking scary was like I just went in the neighborhood just to like kiss my boyfriend at that time, and when I came back home, I saw the garage light was on. I was like, oh fuck, I'm
You're
so
fucked.
screwed.
Mhm.
The amount of anxiety growing up was like,
It's next level for sure.
yeah.
That's and I mean that's like how we learned how to lie. That's just what it comes down to.
Yeah, but you're probably a better liar than me, Ty.
Oh no way! I was a really good kid.
Yeah, we still getting spanked.
Yeah, but not into my college years.
Look, what did you do good in school?
Not
Were
really.
you an honor roll, valedictorian?
Hell no.
See, if I wasn't, I'd be getting spanked.
But I didn't get spanked.
That doesn't mean you weren't a bad kid.
No, it means I was a really good kid.
Oh my! You ever stole before?
Why you gotta ask me that?
Don't you ever stole?
Yeah, everyone's stolen.
I only stole once. Okay, so you're a worse kid than me.
No,
I only stole once.
No.
I stole because
Sometimes,
I want to see if I get away. How was it? It was a test.
damn, I stole out of necessity.
What did you need?
I don't want to talk about it.
I stole Mentos. And
You
I got
stole
trouble.
Mentos?
Yo, my sister stole thongs from Marshalls.
Yo.
And my dad, all he did was like, let's just kneel in front of God and pray.
He was just like, oh my God, my daughter has sinned so much in multiple ways.
Yo, thongs, bro.
Yeah, I think I stole mostly, I stole Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Oh, I stole Pokemon cards
Yeah,
from
I
people.
stole from people?
Yeah.
I never
There's
stole
like
from people.
moments where you know how like when you're in middle school, everyone's showing like their Pokemon cards.
Dude, I hate you.
I would wait till like one person's like, "Can I see this card?" and they'll watch them holding it, and they put their other cards down. I grab their cards and I walk away.
I hate you.
Yeah, I stole people's Charizards.
See-
I stole people's Pikachus.
See, the one thing that I always thought was like, I would never steal from someone else. But if I stole from Walmart, man, fuck Walmart.
Wow, Ty, what'd you steal?
It's years ago now, so
I want to know what you stole.
I stole Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Oh, anything else?
Not really.
Was it
I
even
mean,
worth the Yu-Gi-Oh cards? Are they worth anything? Do you have them still?
no, because someone at my school stole them from me.
Karma, bro.
It's not karma.
Karma.
It's not karma. I don't think I stole anything else really. I had one of my friends. He was stealing like MP3 players and stuff at the time.
Oh, that was me too.
And I was like, "You're stealing MP." And what he would do is he would take the MP3 player, and obviously back then, they didn't have like all the security they did. Like they don't have it behind glass or like with a little security tag. So he would take it, and he would go to the gardening section. You know, that's like at Walmart. That's like it has a gate.
Yes.
And it's like outside-ish.
Yeah.
And he would like slip it outside.
Oh,
in the gate.
Smart.
And then he would leave Walmart
That's
and then walk to the
smart.
back of the gate and pick it up.
That's fucking smart.
He was smart with it. Yeah.
Wow. I used to okay, I said I only stole once, but actually thinking back, I think I stole way
Oh,
more
damn,
than
see?
once. Because like I just remember
She's a liar, guys.
Did I still retainers back then?
What the fuck?
Yeah, it was like second grade to like third grade.
Stealing retainers?
Yo, because it looked like Fruit Roll-Ups. But it was like plastic Fruit Roll-Ups. It was like the cool kids that had like the metal on their teeth, and then it was like rainbow blue and red colors on the roof of their mouth. And I would wait till everyone went to lunch because that's when the retainers would come out and they would put it all on their desks.
Wait, you're stealing it from people still?
Yeah. And then I didn't know about germs back then, okay? I was literally in second grade.
disgusting.
I'll go in there, wait till everyone went out to lunch, and then I would go inside, steal retainers, and then I would shove it in my mouth. Going home, I was so excited. I'm like, man, I can't wait to put these retainers in my mouth.
Barf.
So then after that, I also stole my teacher's coffee mug because I thought it was sick as fuck. It was like a mug, but the cap was a cup. And so then like, I remember her teaching us and she would like pour the coffee into the cup. And I was like, yo, I think my dad would like that as a gift. And my dad was very like gullible or something back then. Cause then being in like second, third grade, coming home with like a mug and a cup, I'm like, Dad, look what I got you. And never questioned it. He was like, oh, this is cool. And then my teacher, when I put it in my bag, when I stole her mug and I put it in my backpack, I knew she was well, I stole it because she had left to go eat lunch.
Yeah.
And then when lunch was over, she was like, where's my mug? And in my head, I'm like, it's in my backpack, but there's no way. I'm so little. There's no way that they would think that like I stole it. So just go all over the place looking for it and never suspected that one of the students stole it. Such a boss, bro.
Okay, whatever. You're so proud that you stole your teacher's mug.
such a
To be
boss.
honest, like it's probably nothing to her. Like if you think about it now, like as an adult, you had a mug and some kid stole your mug.
$10.
Who cares?
Back then, probably
But as a
$10.
kid, you were probably sweating. You were probably like,
I was shaking
I
in
just
my
stole
boots.
this mug.
Yo, yeah. It was a big item.
Yeah, it's a big item.
And it fit in my backpack. And I was the only one coming into that classroom stealing people's stuff.
Start at a young age, I see.
And then I stopped, okay? I got more and more scared of getting in trouble. Did you ever
Okay.
change your grades growing up?
Change my grades? Nah, but I would try to intercept my report card.
How?
like try to get it first or like try to like throw it away.
Like,
or
wouldn't your
something.
parents ask you about it?
They did a couple of times. I don't think I ever really got away with it, aside from maybe a few times where like they just forgot. It just slipped their mind.
Wouldn't they just go through the whole year and be like, "Where's your report card been?"
It wasn't like all the report cards. It'd be like just a couple that I'm just like, let's see if I can hide this
Oh,
one.
bro, no, my parents were on it.
Now, my parents weren't really on it, I don't think.
Yeah, I was changing. I got really good at changing report cards. Like at first, I was like in 8th grade, and I would change like a 7 to a 9 with a
9.
pen, right?
Mhm.
My parents would be like, "Why is there so many marks?" I'm like, "Oh, I just turned in my homework late," and then like she just like, recorrected everything, so my dad would sign it. I never got in trouble until 6th grade, and then the lady was like, called my dad, and I got detention. But then in high school, I got better. I scanned the entire report card, and then like I looked for numbers that were similar in the entire report card. That was a 9. Usually it'd be like a phone number or something. Replace everything with a 9 and give it to my dad. The only person that was intercepting my pro skills was my sister.
She was ratting you out, huh?
Yeah, bro. She was like, "Dad, you believing this? I can't believe it." She's like, "Let me see your real report card." And I'm like, and my dad would genuinely believe me. And I walk away and be like,
Stupid.
yo. Hey, then I got to a point where if you scanned your report card, there's like magic words that would come up that would say like void. Like you would know that it was scanned.
Really?
Yeah, they had that.
I did not know that.
So I had Adobe Photoshop that shit and blur it out.
Damn, you imagine technology now, how easy it is for kids to do that. Like you can just remove watermarks.
I don't
like
even know how
nothing.
nowadays they show report cards.
I think actually if they email it directly to the parents, yeah, you're pretty fucked.
Yo, you're fucked.
You're fucked.
If they
like you can't intercept unless you log into your parents' email.
No, unless you make up your own email and pretend that's your
Yeah.
parents.
Yeah. I mean, but would the school really trust that you would give them your parents'
That's
email?
true.
Or would they call your parents and ask them for the email?
Or it's like if you're signing up your kid.
yeah, you would give up your email for them to send the report cards. Because as Asian parents, I'm probably sure they're like, yes.
Well, you log into the
3
computer.
emails.
Well, you log into their computer because parents always don't log out. People don't log out of their emails. So all you have to do is know the password to the computer, and then boom, you're into their email.
Actually, I would do that. Because I would, back at home, I'd have to use my dad's computer. I don't know what I did it for, actually. But I remember that I would stand over his shoulder and watch him type in his password.
Yo, same.
So that I could get into the computer later to do whatever. I don't remember.
Do whatever.
To do whatever. I don't remember what I was doing.
Okay.
But-
Okay,
But, you know, I needed access to the computer at the time.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure you did at night.
I can't do it at night.
Yo, do you remember? You remember the days of dial-up?
Dial-up was wild.
Where you couldn't use the internet, and then like your phone would be like anytime someone tried calling the house phone
Yeah.
because you were on the internet.
That was so annoying,
Yeah,
but you just got used to it, right?
yeah.
Like eventually you're just like, well, can't do this simultaneously. But now it's like, thank God.
Do you remember the word flash when like flash was used to do 3-way?
Flash.
Yeah.
I don't know what Flash is.
Oh, okay. I always like, I had a flip phone all the way up until freshman year in college.
Okay.
When like iPhones and stuff like that were already out, but I was always just like, oh, I can use it. Like I don't need iPhones. Back then, I always use like house phone, and sometimes like I'm on the phone with like my boyfriend or my crush, right?
Yeah.
And then you can hear like a,
Yeah.
and then you know that that's like your parent listening in.
Mhm.
So then I always told them beforehand, like if I ever just don't answer, just don't say anything. And then you can hear my mom breathing like.
Dude, same shit for me. Like I would take the home phone and I would just bring it to my room just so I could talk to the girl that I was talking to at the time. And then every time like we'd be talking late into the night, like we would talk so long that the batteries would die on the phone.
Oh yeah, same.
Right?
So
Yeah.
you switch it.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I had to switch it to another phone. I had to
Yeah,
go
yeah, yeah.
downstairs, put that one down,
Right.
pick up the other one. But I remember because my parents had one of the phones in their room. And so sometimes at night, I'd just be talking, I'd be laughing with the girl. And then I would hear, go to sleep.
And the phone?
Yeah, on the phone.
Yo, that's so scary.
And I should be like, bloop, immediately.
Did you get in trouble?
Not really. I mean, they would yell at me sometimes, but it was just like, I think what they didn't like the most, what they didn't want, especially my mom, is for me to have a girlfriend at the
Until
time.
when? When were you allowed to have a girlfriend?
I don't think there was ever a set time because like I remember my mom and I got into let's say an argument for an extended period of time about my female friends. And then after that, it was just fine. Like she didn't care anymore.
Oh.
Yeah. So it worked out eventually. But I think it was probably like when I hit college, if I were to say.
You know, I would say that with your parents, I think the reason you guys don't know Ty, but Ty is not a very temperamental guy. He's actually the first Vietnamese that I've met that is not like a temperament, has a good temperament, right? You're very calm, and like when it comes to relationships and stuff like that, like he's very calm. And I kind of like asked him back then, like, how can I be patient, this and this, and like try to learn how to be healthy in a relationship. And so I think it had to do with like how your parents, like you did tell me, how your parents communicate with each other. Because growing up, my parents would like throw things and scream at each other. And it was like very terrifying. Like I remember hiding in my room and hearing like glasses breaking and dishes being thrown. My dad literally like broke the faucet and there's water like spraying in the air. It was straight up raining in our place. It was like, it's so traumatizing that you'll never forget it. That like growing up in relationships, if I ever like heard any of that, it would bring back a lot of trauma to like when I was younger. And so I always thought that in relationships in the beginning that it was normal to date a guy that was like that. And that's why I would date guys who would abuse me physically, because I was like, oh, my mom can take it, so can I.
That's not good. That's not good. I mean, to be fair, like growing up, my dad was also like that, but not for very long. Because I would remember hearing yelling and screaming, and then like him breaking cups or throwing cups or something that were like glass cups. And they were really nice cups, actually. I don't know if anyone remembers, but a long time ago, this is a tangent, I guess.
It's okay.
At McDonald's,
Okay.
they had these like frosted glass Batman cups.
Never remember.
They're like,
maybe some of you guys might.
They're really nice cups, like just little. They're mugs. They're glass mugs, and so they're like they were like sculpted with Batman's face and stuff. So they weren't flat mugs. They were like 3D, right? And he would throw them, and I remember thinking like, man, I like that cup.
Oh no.
He would throw it and break it. Oh, I like that
Yo,
one.
off tangent a little bit. McDonald's made some pretty
They
good
made
like
some
Happy
good,
Meal
sick-
stuff.
Yeah, they made some good.
They had a
sick
Pokeball.
toys.
I don't know if you've ever seen the McDonald's Pokeball, and there's a glass, or not glass, a
A
gold.
gold, yes.
Pokemon card
a gold,
in there.
like slab
Yeah.
card. Oh my god! If you have that now, it's worth a ton.
I
think.
don't. I wish I had it. It was Pikachu, and it
Yeah,
was
they're
great. Yeah.
really good. They're really good toys. But yeah, so like growing up, it was like that too. But I think there was a turning point where my mom, like, she had enough of that, and then she was actually going to run away with us.
No way.
Yeah, like we were ready to leave and everything.
What happened? How did all this change?
Well, once my dad saw that, like, he knew that what he was doing wasn't sustainable,
And he changed immediately.
and he changed immediately.
Wow.
Like, that's what I respect a lot about my dad. His willpower is like beyond anything that I've seen. Like, he can just, and I think that's what also I learned growing up, is that you can change. You can, like, no, despite how much something is ingrained in you, if you have the will and the determination, then you can change that. Because he's changed multiple times. Like, I've seen him do that. I've seen him quit smoking, like cold turkey.
For you guys?
Yeah, for us.
Wow. That's a good dad.
Yeah. And
Very good.
and he was smoking a lot. Like, he was smoking cartons.
Yeah, my dad used to smoke like 2 cartons a day.
Did your dad also collect? My dad was smoking way more than that. Did your dad also collect? So my dad would smoke the pack, and then he would cut out the barcodes, because
Oh, my dad did that too.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
reward. My dad had bags filled with those barcodes.
What was the rewards for?
He
It's
would
like money or
exchange
something?
No, they would exchange it for like Marlboro, like
More cigarettes?
memorabilia. Oh, you also got more cigarettes.
What the fuck?
Yeah, you get
Trying to
more
kill
cigarettes.
you, bro.
Because I don't know if your dad did this either, but I would go into the freezer sometimes to get ice cream, and there'd be cartons of cigarettes in there.
Why in the
I
freezer?
have no idea, but there were cartons of cigarettes in the freezer,
Okay, your dad's very addicted.
just a lot.
Yeah.
And then he was able to quit. I was like, that's wild.
Wow. The fact that your dad would quit because of family, that speaks a lot. Because
Yeah.
most people quit for themselves. Just sometimes it's just like,
I mean, I'm sure it's for himself too, but mostly I think for the family.
it's just like, even like changing, like people who change, like sometimes they don't change for the person that they're dating while they're dating them, and they usually change after, which I'm not really sure why. I know this is really off topic, but like, why is it that like when you're in a relationship, you guys are fighting over the same things, and
Right.
then you end up changing after the breakup? And then I'm like, damn, now somebody else gets the best version of you that I was dealing with.
Yeah, that happens a lot. I think when you get into those arguments, right, in the moment, your ego or is just taking over, and you don't want to change. When you should really changing in the moment, I think is important, but it's afterwards, like you reflect on everything. You're like, okay, you start to figure out where you went wrong and how you can improve, and that's why people tend to improve after every relationship, because you learn more about yourself every single time.
Why couldn't they change during the relationship? Like, is the relationship, that person you're dating, guy or girl, not good enough for you to want to keep them and change that while you're dating them?
I mean, I don't know if I can say for sure, but I think it is just hard to change in the moment for a lot of people. Yeah.
I guess it takes like, usually after a breakup, it's when you self-reflect the most.
Right.
And then I think that's when you're like, okay, I need to work on this and work on this for the next person I'm dating. Or it could be the person that you were dating. You could just be the better version for them.
Yeah.
Because it happens. I used to think like, oh, if you break up and you guys get back together, it never works out. But I've actually seen
No,
it
it
as
can.
you get older. They do work out.
It can.
Yeah.
And I think like you can also learn how to do that, like how to change in a relationship. Like I think after you've been in so many relationships and you start to see that the trend of you improving after the relationship, you start to wonder like, okay, how can I apply that to when I'm in a relationship now? Right. So then during one, perhaps you take a step back during these arguments and you start to reflect on like, okay, well, here's what I can do, right?
Yeah.
And here's where I can change to
Exactly.
make this situation better.
Right.
Yeah. So, but I think it is a learned thing. So it takes a little bit for people to do that.
Yeah. And I feel like after the breakup is when it's more like you have all this time to yourself. So you got to
True.
think more.
Oh, that's true. That's true, actually.
Yeah.
You have more time to yourself. So not only do you think more, you have more time to do this stuff for yourself.
You know, I used to think like back then my exes would be like, like being with you is such a distraction. I was like, I swear I'm not distracting you because I'm playing video games or doing my own thing. I think it's a mental distraction sometimes.
It is, because when you're with someone, even if you're not doing anything with them in the moment, they are a part of your considerations.
Yes.
So they're always present. Well, they should be, right?
Yes,
If your partner just disregards you, then it's like, oof, that's a little rough. But they should always be in your consideration, no matter what you're doing. Like
Yeah,
you're doing
I
something,
agree.
you're considering them.
Yes.
You know, like whether you're going out to get food, you're getting water, you consider them. You're gonna go hang out with your friend, you consider them. Whatever. So that's probably the distraction.
And that's where I think that the if you want to, he would thing is like, if you're dating someone that's not considering you, maybe you're just not the higher priority for them. You're not
True.
the person for them.
True.
And I think that's okay, because then you'll find somebody else who realizes the type of person that's for you, and then they will consider you. You can't change somebody to be like, why don't you think about me? It's just like you guys are just not the right people for each other. And that's what I've realized a lot. It's funny, we talked about family and all of a sudden got into relationships.
Oh, yeah.
Don't even
I
know
didn't
how we
even
got there.
realize
Yo,
that.
I didn't even go through my list.
Oh, shit.
That's okay. It's like, because you want to know what I was gonna ask. Like, this is what's so great though. Sometimes about me and Ty is like we will go off on talking, and like
Yeah.
I didn't even get to go through like my backup questions. But a couple of it was like, oh, these are my rules. You can't divorce being Asian and Catholic. Must be doctor, lawyer, which we kind of got
People
that.
divorce so much now, though.
But
like,
not in Asian
I think
culture.
the rate is way higher these days.
You can't if you're Asian.
Yes, you can.
It's shamed upon.
That's frowned upon.
Frowned upon.
It's frowned upon, and you get shamed.
There you go,
And you get
that's what I'm
shamed.
saying. Yeah, and then it was like I used to think being a nurse was like the bottom tier. Like if you can't make it to be a doctor, good luck. Like you're not respected as a nurse. That was like
Really?
yeah, that was like
I feel like I know a lot of people that respect nurses. I respect nurses.
I respect nurses too.
Nurses are
yeah,
great.
It's just that's how I thought about it growing up. I had a bunch of other things. Ty, it was like, yeah, a lot. I got a lot, but it's okay because you know what? I don't care if we didn't get through it because I really like our conversations.
Yeah.
It's already an hour, so I hope you guys also enjoyed this podcast as well. This is a more like real getting to know me and Ty a lot more, but let us know what you guys think in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Say goodbye, Toy.
Goodbye.
Bye bye. See you guys in my next episode of Flow and